guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dariana, aka Not Her Time, aka your trading bestie. And today's video is such a sad one. No, let me stop playing. I'm making this video today because I've been on a losing streak. No, it's no big deal. But y'all, I've really been going through a losing streak, which is crazy because July was a pretty good month. Like, that was a really good month. It was a profitable month. And then boom, as soon as the next NFP week happened, it was loss after loss after loss. I think I took 6 losses. I don't know if they were consecutive. I think there was like 1 or 2 wins thrown in there. But overall, I know I took 6 losses within 3 weeks. But I just wanted to talk about what I've been doing to kind of navigate this losing streak. Because y'all, this losing streak, I haven't been on a losing streak this bad since I switched to futures. Like 6 trades, probably like 7. Like 6 or 7 trades. That's a little bit, concerning. I just want to talk about like what I've been doing, how I've been navigating it, and how I've been trying to pull myself out of it. The first thing that I noticed that I was doing is I started to step away from the charts, because taking these losses consecutively definitely put a damper in my confidence, made me not really want to trade as much, which probably was a good thing, because when I was taking these losses, I'll probably put a screenshot or something of my edge wonk, but I believe I was taking like 2 trades a week. The losing streak started on NFP week. I took 2 trades that week that were losses. The next week, I took 2 more losses and 1 win, but I took the win on a separate account by accident, so I'm not even gonna count that. And then the 3rd week, I think I took 2 or 3 losses. So I was kind of trying to limit how much I was on the charts for real. I started to notice towards like the 2nd week of continuously taking losses, I started to kind of force trades. Like, I know one loss that I took it and then I re-entered because it was still valid, but it wasn't a trade that I should have re-entered. Like, I knew that. And I kind of forced it. So after I started doing that, I was like, okay, I need to step away. I took this time during this losing streak to kind of step into some other hobbies and just take a break from the charts and just refresh my mind a little bit. Okay, I've been getting back into other things aside from trading. Been back in the sketchbook. I've been back on Zelda. Just using those other hobbies to kind of de-stress. I don't know about y'all, but when you're in the midst of a losing streak, it's like you're not thinking straight. For me, I'm not thinking straight. I was not thinking straight. So taking that break away from the charts was definitely beneficial for my mental health. Not even just my mental health, but my mentality when it comes to trading. So once you take your little break from the charts, once you step away, do your other things, and you're ready to come back and address the issues, it's definitely obviously very important to review your losses. Like, that is probably, no, it is one of the most important things you could do on a losing streak, because you got to see where you went wrong. You want to verify, are you taking the same setups that you've always been taking, or is there something different about these setups? Also, you want to verify is that if it's not your setups, if you're taking the same type of setup you've been taking, the same quality setup as well, is the market just changing? I know some people say that like August or the summer months, the market is like a little bit different. They don't have the same results in the summer months as they do in, like, let's say Q2 or other quarters. So maybe it's something like that. Maybe it was a psychological issue. Were you cutting winners? Are you over trading? Are you over leveraging and messing up your psychology and not executing your trades properly? Execution errors. Are you getting in too late? Are you getting in too early? Things like that. Because once you pinpoint those problems, then you could address them. Another thing that I did too is, and this just happened to fall within the same like time of my losing streak, but I reviewed a sample size of my trades. So it's basically when you just take a set of your trades, like 30, 50, however many trades you have, and you basically look at them and kind of look at the results of them. So when I went back to my last 25 trades, right? And it sucks too, because I feel like if I didn't have this losing streak within my last 3 weeks of trading, my sample size results probably could have been way better. But it's okay. When I looked at a sample size of my trades, like my most recent sample size, I noticed that I was still doing the things, or I was still taking the trades that I told myself I would try to avoid more of in my previous sample size. And y'all, I had no idea, which is crazy, because it's literally, I literally have it on my daily report card, like on my little reminder section, sample size notes. I have the two things that I wanted to avoid. But then when I was going over my losses and I was going over the last 25 trades and all the ones that lost, I noticed a lot of them had the qualities that I told myself I was going to avoid in my last sample size. And I just I was not aware. I was literally not aware that I was still taking these setups as much as I was. And that's why it's also very important to like take a sample size of your trades and really deeply review them and compare them to previous sample sizes, because so you can really see, am I improving or am I making the same mistakes? And in this case, I was making the same mistakes. So I feel like that also could have been something that could have helped prevented a losing streak, and also helped me bring more mindfulness into my trading. And okay, so that's what we're doing. Another thing that I started doing too is once I realized I was on a deep losing streak, I started to lower my risk. My risk already low for real, because I try not to do too much, but I cut my risk. Basically, I just dropped it a little bit, just like a little bit lower. And I learned this, I don't know who I was watching. I was watching some trading video, but somebody had mentioned when you're on a losing streak, in order to avoid those big like dips, y'all know, like on your equity curve, those big dips, once you start realizing like, okay, I just lost 2 trades in a row, 3 trades in a row, cut your risk in half or just drop it. Your equity curve starts to drop and you cut your risk in half and you kind of go more conservative with your trading. Instead of it being like a big drop, it curves a little bit. You're kind of curving those dips in your equity curve. So once you get it back together, once you find your rhythm again, your equity curve can kind of be more clean, like a more simple upward curving equity curve. I'll show mine. Like I had a big dip earlier in the year, and that's what I noticed, like, dang, I do need to cut my risk a little bit more. And then it happened again during this losing streak, because I feel like I didn't cut my risk until I was like 4 trades in, so I probably should have did that earlier. But yeah, you can kind of see like the big dips where I could have like risked less, and while I was taking those losses, it would have curved out a little bit more. Editing Dariana here. I just wanted to pop in real quick and give a little bit more perspective to the whole lowering your risk during your losing streaks. For me, I'm only lowering my risk until I get back to a certain point. When I went on my losing streak, I dropped down back to like around 600 in profit. So I told myself I was going to keep my risk lowered until I get back to 800, between 800 and 900, depending on how I feel internally. And then when I get back to that number, I'm going to go back to my normal risk. So I just wanted to put out there that maybe you might start finding it hard to recover your losses when you have a lowered risk. Take that into account if you decide if you want to try and lower your risk during a losing streak. Kind of gauge, depending on like your win rate and your previous experience, about how long should you keep your lowered risk before you switch back to your normal risk, because you also don't want to get caught into a cycle of like not being able to recover your losses because your risk is too low. Just make sure you cater it to your own specific results and your own specific experience in the market. But yeah, that's just another little tip to help you get through the losing streak, because y'all, we got to get through it. Like we never know like when the losing streak is going to end or when the next win is going to come, but what we can do is control our risk and how the losing streak is gonna play out in regards to how much we're gonna lose. And this is also a good way that you can get your confidence back up too. Taking losses consecutively definitely affects your mental. It definitely affects how you view yourself as a trader sometimes. You know, that plays a part too. Like if you start losing confidence in your ability to trade because of a few losses, then it's like that's gonna carry on to the next trade and the next trade and the next trade. And I also feel like that is another reason why I ended up on this losing streak, because I do kind of feel like I was self-sabotaging a little bit because of my expectation. Because now, once I was on that losing streak, y'all, I was kind of like expecting to lose. Like it was I was down bad. Like I'm not gonna lie. I remember one day I took a trade, and I remember that day I just wasn't even feeling good. Like I think I had rated my temp like a C that day. I was not feeling good. I think I was like irritated. I don't know, but I lost a trade that day. But let me tell you how I lost that trade. I lost that trade due to execution error because I got in too early before the entry signal was really presented. I think I was a little bit too hasty, but where did that hastiness come from though? Why was I being too hasty? I feel like subconsciously, because I was already feeling like, okay, I'm on this losing streak, my confidence is down, I'm not even feeling good today. I probably shouldn't even have traded that day, but I'm not even feeling good today. I kind of brought that loss upon myself. So now I'm just pulling losses out of thin air. So definitely take that time to lower your risk, build your confidence back up, and bring your mental back to a nice, stable place so you're not collecting more losses than you need to. Another thing that really helps when you're on these losing streaks is to talk about it with other traders. When I was talking about my losing streak with another trader, I noticed that it definitely helps me like bring my attention out of my own brain and back into reality, because the reality is everybody goes on losing streaks. Like, you're going to go on a losing streak, especially if you're still trying to find your edge in the market, if you're still trying to gather that experience in the market and learn. We can't let a losing streak hold too much weight. And when I was talking to other traders, they're very encouraging. When you go on a losing streak, your self-talk could maybe turn a little negative, and talking to other people and other traders, they will literally uplift you, like, because they know what it is. Like, they know that it happens, but you're going to get through it though. And that's the most important thing, is to get through the losing streak, to keep pursuing, keep taking the next trade, like keep showing up, keep doing your routines, keep trying to improve. A lot of the times, like, my trader friend, he'll remind me, like, you know, you still been through a lot, you still know how to trade. Just because you went on a losing streak don't mean that all the skills that you've learned, everything that you learned, is out the window and you don't know what you're doing anymore. Like, no, that's not the case. It's just the market. It may be some personal errors. Like I said, review your trades, okay? Take a break, step away, and get back to it. Definitely talking to other traders definitely grounds you, and maybe even asking another trader to review your losses. If y'all trade the same, y'all trade like a similar strategy, or they just know how you trade, ask them to look over your losses, and maybe they'll see something that you didn't see. Maybe if you have a mentor, ask them to look over your losses. Let them, you know, add a little bit more food for thought. Even though losing streaks do suck, they definitely do suck. Losing streaks can be very valuable because they force you to really look for lessons. When you're in the highs of your trading, when you're winning, it could be a little bit like hard to find the lesson that you could learn, or the lesson in the trade, or because you think, okay, I won, so I did everything good, everything was perfect. But is it really? But when you take losses, you're not going to feel like, oh, everything was perfect because you took a loss. So you're going to be more inclined to find those lessons and find those areas where you can improve. And then you got to take that same mentality into every single day when you trade. Even if you're on an amazing winning streak, always find ways to improve, and always, you know, don't slack up. Maybe that could have been my problem. Like, July was super good. Maybe I slacked up, because within my 6 to 7 losses that I took this month, there were some execution errors. I think there was a psychology error and a decision error, because I took lower quality, I took like 2 lower quality setups. Am I slacking? I think I started slacking. I got too comfortable during the winning period, and then God had to humble me. It's okay. It's okay. We're all learning. Keep that community around. People online, there's discords, of course, comment sections, and like even in this comment section, you can just talk. If you're on a losing streak or you took some losses, just talk about your experience and how y'all getting through it. Like, how are y'all getting through y'all losing streaks? If you go through ones, when you take a couple losses in a row, how do you bring yourself back up out of that? I'm not gonna ramble too long. I just wanted to come up here and talk about that. I really appreciate y'all letting me come up here and talk about my experience in the market this month. If you're on a losing streak, if you're watching this and you're on a losing streak as well, just know you're not alone in this. Everybody goes through them. I'm going through one right now. Your favorite traders probably go through them too. It's normal. The most important thing is control your risk, review your trades, and maintain a strong mentality, and then get through it. The market's still gonna open and close at the end of the day. The market's still gonna move and print setups. You just wanna make sure when your next setup comes, your next A quality setup comes, the losing streak is in the past and you focus on the present. Okay, I know that's right. I know that's right, y'all. Anyway, any tips to get through your losses and to maintain your integrity during your losses, definitely leave it in the comments. And yeah, if nobody has told you yet, let me be the one to tell you that someone has faith in you, and that someone is me. With love, I will see y'all in the next video.